welcome to group session 15 of the 2023 Masters World Cup. This is our lineup today. We will be presenting our athletes in approximately 40 seconds. You can see that in the top right hand corner. That is our lineup. We can have a quick look out the back because the athletes will be slowly getting ready to come and present. A couple of last second hugs. They're all lined up and ready to go. They'll start looking at the live stream that's feeding out the back. A few nervous people getting themselves ready. So that's our lineup today. And Hall getting the excitement going. So here they come, making their way out. We will come back to the main platform because our athletes are coming up on stage. Now we have an adaptive athlete in today's session, which is fantastic to see. We have a support dog as well. If that's a great way to reduce your anxiety on stage, nothing is, right? Have your little dog with you, it's cute. So that's our ladies lineup. They will make our way out the back now, and then we will shortly welcome our technical officials. I'm joined in commentary for this session by David Leety, Tokyo Olympian, Gold Coast Commonwealth Games gold medalist, silver medalist from, I was going to say Glasgow, but it's not Glasgow, it's Birmingham.
Birmingham 22.
Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. First time on a live stream commentary?
Yeah, this is the first time on the mic. Very exciting and can't wait to talk some more.
I just come and tapped you on the shoulder, so I appreciate you coming and sitting with me.
No worries, no worries.
So, so we have James Grieve as our technical controller and Odette Smith. So that's our referees and technical officials, and you'll see the clock will get set to 10 minutes, which it just did, and that means 10 minutes to the start of competition. I will go back to the scoreboard for everybody at home. This is your lineup. So David, you've come in this morning. I know we had you present some medals previously, but you've got a club member lifting in this session?
Yes, here to support Rose. I'm not sure if that's her first World Masters, but yeah, it's good to have a competition in home grounds and supporting our people. So yeah, it's fun to be here.
Yeah, it's cool, and the fact that we don't have to travel too far to makes it a bit cheaper than flying overseas. So it's fantastic. But I'm sure she'll appreciate your support, and she'll come back and watch the live stream. So everything you say, she will hear. So that's our setup. Just before we go to the holding screen for the next 8 or so minutes, I will take this opportunity to thank those that have supported this event. It's been a massive effort to get this together, from all the volunteers that have helped us hoist all of this upstairs, but also the events team that puts this together. I will zoom out and have a little look around while I'm talking about them, because this was a massive stage setup. So this is the women's side. This is a raised platform skirting right through to the men's side, and that's the black background. So massive stage, and then out back room as well. Heaps of support from the North and South Trust, Lion Foundation, TAB, Aotearoa Gaming Trust. So all of these plates, all of the platforms, all of the chalk bins are retained in ownership by Weightlifting New Zealand for us to hold future events. And while I've got David sitting next to me, we are hosting the 2024 Oceania Championships, which serves as a qualification event for Paris.
Yes.
And David, certainly on your way to looking to qualify for Paris. So I'm just focusing on Cam's face. I'm not going to do that. But we're certainly excited. We're going to be taking that event to South Auckland. So we can bring families and friends, and particularly the Pacifica community, because we know the weightlifting through the Pacific is massive at the moment. Samoa, Fiji, right through to Micronesia and Nauru and Kiribati. So really excited to bring them and welcome them to New Zealand in 2024. So a massive thank you to our sponsors. I'm going to put us into the holding screen for the next 7 minutes, and we will be back with you shortly for the first lift of session 15 of the 2023 Masters World Cup. welcome back. We have just under a minute until the first lift of the session 15, which is the women's 87 and 87 plus category. It's been a big couple of days so far, halfway through day 3. That's our lineup. Just before we get into the action, just a reminder to those that we have an evening with Precious tonight, 6:30 p.m. Precious is going to get on the couch and answer some questions of his illustrious career. Sitting next to David, an Olympian and Commonwealth Games gold medalist. Precious is a 4 times Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 time for England, 1 time for New Zealand, 3-time Olympian, multiple times world record holder in powerlifting.
Oh, wow.
Bringing his 18 gold medals from multiple sports tonight, if you're around. I don't know if you're probably not of the era that I am, but...
I've heard a lot of stories about Precious. I didn't know he was that well decorated.
And his story is amazing. He had to come from South Africa because he wasn't allowed to compete for South Africa and in the international stage. So we're ready to go. We've got someone standing perfectly in front. Pole, get down.
Very nice opener there.
Apologies, I'm yelling at Paul, but we have an adaptive athlete. Took me a second to understand what was going on there really quickly, because Paul stood right in front of the main camera, but that's because we have an athlete that requires an audible feedback system, so this is an adaptive athlete.
Yep. I actually taught a class where she came to.
Oh, brilliant.
So I've met her and her dog a few months ago, and yeah, she's very, very good.
So it's Marcia's first attempt, and that was a successful first attempt. So I will understand what's going on in the next one. That's brilliant. So let's go to the back room. We can see what's happening out the back. So there we are. She's getting some good coaching out the back. So this is a big part of the sport, is creating these opportunities to take to the international platform for people that have different aspects that they work with, whether it's vision or hearing. I know there's a lot of adaptive weightlifting programs now, and adaptive competitions being developed as well around the world, which is fantastic to create these opportunities to get on the big stage.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like for myself, the reason why I got into weightlifting a lot, and what kind of drew me in was the overseas competitions and the bigger competitions. So this will be very good for a lot of athletes, and they'll all be enjoying it.
I was saying the influence, firstly, that Masters events have is that this might be mum, this might be your sister, this might be your auntie, or might even, for some of us, it's even grandma that's taken to the stage wearing the New Zealand fern, or the Australian or the Canadian, and the inspiration that provides, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare that grandma sees David lifting some weights and thinks, I'll go do that. Yeah. But it goes it goes the other way, right? Yeah. When you see your parents or role models in your life being active, it just goes, that's a really good kind of outlook.
It's an inspiration in a different kind of way that we're not used to.
Yes. And then we've got individuals like Marcia who will inspire just a wider audience to go, actually, I can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
There's really no limit.
Just you versus gravity, right?
Right.
Okay, so here's Marcia's second. Paul, you're in a good position now. Thank you. That's beautiful lifting by Marcia. And she is 2 from 2.
Fairly easy. Nice second attempt there.
So Coach Pole positioned herself nicely off to the right. And this is Marcia. Thank you. A little bit. So great extension, takes it to arm's length. There's certainly heaps of elevation on this barbell. Good for the slow motion because the athletes out back can watch their slow-mo replay. Pole's still out there giving those words of wisdom. We're going to go back to the main platform because we have Annabelle Hohepa with her first.
Wow. Very strong power there.
Annabelle tentatively walks off stage. Annabelle was in hospital yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't know if it was wise to turn up, but she turns up and she does that.
And see what I mean, like the inspiration from, the mums and the grandmas and all them. It's different.
But yeah, it's very different watching athletes in their prime lift, and that's inspiration in terms of performance. It brings a sense of pride, those aspects. But when you see family members, and it's not even performance orientated, it's such a challenge for us to get on stage. Because the lights, those 3 steps to get up on stage are big. They're not just 3 steps. It's I'm putting myself out there, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, big 3 steps to get up on stage, put yourself in front of 3 judges and have to execute. So we commend everybody that gives themselves a challenge like this. Give us a wave. Come on, you can see it. Pole's making sure she's getting every possible instruction. Keep it close. Get it close to the body. Don't let it drift. Lock it out. So a couple of changes coming through. 48 kilos being loaded. This is for Flo. Flo Alisana. This is her first attempt, 48 kilos. That's what's loaded. Although I think I saw Tina meandering over to the score sheets, did I? Which usually means change. No. Okay, so here is Flo. First attempt, 48 kilos. Whoa.
Wow.
It's beautiful opening attempt.
All these openers have been fairly easy so far.
You can usually see from the setup, right?
Yeah.
She just wound that perfect set position off the ground, drives with the legs, bar doesn't deviate, and she gets it nicely above her line of balance. It's a really good start. She'll be pretty happy with that. Gives her good confidence for the remaining lifts that she has. So we're going to go back to the main platform because we have Rose taking first attempt, 48 kilos. Just as easy for Rose. She's into the competition. Well done, Rose. That's a good start too.
And it's always the first lift, right? The hardest one. Everything else just comes off adrenaline and.
So, I know you're quite a powerful lifter, David. You move the bar really fast, and sometimes that adrenaline on that first lift just.
Yep. It catches you off guard.
It does, yeah. Takes off, and you've got to hit the brakes overhead. It's something I always struggled with as an athlete because I didn't have the great technique that you guys got given from a young age, and I just relied on strength and power. And it feels heavy in the back room. Your last warm-up is and then you come out on the comp platform and then it's light as anything. It goes like a rocket. So you've got to learn. I always talk about learning to drive an overpowered car, like a V8 for the first time, and you don't know how much acceleration you've got to put down because the wheels just spin. So you pull out of your driveway and do some skids for the first time, right? Because you got too much power and you don't know how to control it.
It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, Marcia's back for her third. Not to be.
I think nice and strong off the floor.
I think that was more psychological than capability. It's when you get to these weights, sometimes the keywords in your head become a little bit more. And
it looked fairly easy from off the ground, and then I think just psyched out through the middle.
Yeah, had a bit of a mind block. Right there, she just checks.
High enough?
Yeah.
Could have gone under it.
When the brain says no in weightlifting, your body checks out very quickly. So we have the bar being loaded for Jennifer. Please, if you are watching at home, let us know where you're watching from. We do have a lot of people tuning in. Let us know who you're supporting. We can see your comments, as can the athletes. So if you're supporting them, write something as they come out on stage, because that's where they will pop up on the live feed. And these athletes will come back and watch all of these lifts. Jennifer Zeval, Australia, 50 kilos first attempt. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah. Quite comfortable, well within the power. Little skip and a jump to.
You got a nice celebration there.
It's quite interesting that I know you've got a celebration move. Usually you do it after your last snatch, don't you? But these masters athletes, they have one after every lift usually.
I mean, I think they understand a little bit more than some of the younger athletes, and you got to take every lift as a good thing and celebrate it as you go along.
You got to enjoy the whole process, right?
For sure. Did you, in talking about celebration, did you ever have any?
Double fist pump was mine when I nailed it. It was very rare though. I guess
very rare in a way where you weren't satisfied, or.
Well, I wasn't the most consistent lifter in my.
Right.
Like if I got 3 out of 6, I usually win. It's because it means I got 2 clean and jerks, and the last one was the win. So I get on the board and then just put it all on the bar. I wasn't. I gave my. I went through numerous coaches over my career. I think I had about 4 or 5 coaches.
Oh wow!
But for a period of my time, from about 19 through to about 23, I think I bombed at every second event because I just wanted to start really heavy. Okay, here we go. Rose is out for her second. Oh, she's looking fantastic. Nice. Yeah.
Even better than the first attempt.
I agree. It's just those nerves on that first made her be a bit cautious, and then she got a bit more aggressive on this lift. Good to see a few comments coming in on the live stream. Stuart, thanks for joining us. More than welcome. Supporting Leora Yates. We have Gina and Anja watching from Hamilton, supporting Marcia. So great to see you guys all joining in and writing those comments. Here comes Annabelle for her second attempt.
Very nice.
Easy work for Annabelle. Annabelle Hohepa was a decorated New Zealand Women's Rugby League representative for many years. Stalwart. Enforcer, that would be the nickname. She certainly let people know on the rugby league field not to run in her direction. And she's been a wonderful member of our facility over on the North Shore for many years. Got a lot of time for Annabelle. Well done, Annabelle. God, these athletes coming out at a rapid rate. Here comes Flo Alisana, second attempt, 52 kilograms. So Flo has been a lifter for many years, but it's great to see her back in the New Zealand uniform and back on the platform again. She's technically very sound. Oh, she does well to stabilise. I think it's okay.
Just a little bit of a over hump there.
Through the
forward, push it forward a little bit and through the middle.
Through the hip, you reckon?
Yep.
It's a great thing we get to see. Yeah, she does throw that hip forward, which sent that bar slightly forward, and then torso had to follow.
A little bit of a dive.
The big step to get underneath.
But it's like what you said, like when you get into that car, the adrenaline is a little bit too much sometimes, and it takes a few reps to take it under control. But very good lift.
She's 2 from 2. She'll be happy. Gives her that final say. She changes happening out the back. Let's go have a look in the back room, shall we? This is what's happening. Mr. McTaggart, your fellow Olympian from Tokyo, sitting there with his hands on his knees. Being the coach for the weekend. Coaches, have you ever been in the back room counting numbers?
Only a few times for minor competitions.
Yeah. That's the times you just count. There's Leo, renowned Australian coach. You stand there, Cam will be counting to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then someone will come and count next time, and then you'll lose count, and you have to start your count again. So they're all counting out the back. Rose is ready to go for her third. There's some loading happening. You should be able to be watching the men's session on the Facebook as well. We had a bit of what we call throttling, which is a lot of people in here are using the internet. And the hotel is full this weekend, so that's a lot of people using the internet. So we've had to just be very careful with our streaming settings to make sure that we can get this live out to you. They said we'd be okay with the internet, but the internet needs a bit of a boost in this hotel.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Bit of a step there.
She's pretty happy. She's got lots of support here.
Lots of smiles and a lot of claps.
Yeah.
Big hug out there for the coach. Very nice.
Great drive, and the line was just spot on that one. Pivots underneath it. I like to think of weightlifting as a big game of heavy Jenga, where that last piece is, in this case, 55 kilos, and you're putting it perfectly back on that balanced line. Yeah. You can't throw it at the Jenga tower. It's got to sit perfectly on top of the Jenga tower.
We all know the smallest mistakes makes a difference.
Yeah, it will topple everything, but that was perfectly placed. So here's Kelly. Kelly's first attempt, 55. Looks good to me. Majority lift. And that's a record. I've got a lot of good things to say about Kelly. She turned up on day one and helped me lift a hell of a lot of stuff upstairs.
Wow.
She was massive help, big contributor to the sport. It was that first lift power that came through there. It took off like a rocket.
And a new record.
And yeah, first lift being a record.
It's not often you see people come out and open up on a record, you know.
So here's Jennifer. Jennifer looked exceptionally powerful on her first lift. Just the technical proficiency of these Masters athletes is fantastic. Oh, those
Wow.
elbows. Elbow envy. Those are good elbows. I was saying earlier on the previous session that it's like one of the biggest flirts you can have is say to a Masters lifter, "Oh, I love your elbows." Just locks it in.
And those are very good elbows. I'd class that lift better than the first.
Yeah, she's very powerful. Huge drive through the middle. There's a whole heap happening out the back. Let's go have a look. Just look at everyone converging and writing numbers quickly on paper, and Cheryl Tan's quickly pushing those numbers through into the system. Here is Flo Alessana. This is her third attempt, 55. So she is 2 from 2 so far.
Little ritual there, rolling the bar.
Yeah, she's got a good setup. I like this broad stance. It gives her a good foundation.
Very nice.
So patient. Yeah.
Solid tempo for the last and third attempt.
Well done, Flo. It's great lifting. All the coaches are just watching it through their phones. There's one thing I don't do is pull my cell phone out and film, because like you only ever end up watching people through a screen.
You don't really see the full
Be
thing.
present. Yeah, be present. Saves me sitting here behind a live stream all weekend, but I try my best to, every time the lift happens, I actually watch the lift in person. I don't watch it on the screen.
Yeah.
Otherwise you just feel like you might as well be at home watching TV. Like,
For sure.
here's Annabelle Hohepa. This is for Annabelle's third. Good work, Annabelle. That's really powerful.
The best one of the day so far for Annabelle.
So let's just try to load up the slow-mo before the next person runs out on stage. Big wind-up.
Very nice line. Solid punch through the arms. Such a beautiful lift there for Annabelle.
Well done, Annabelle, for turning up and putting that sense of relief for her there. She's pretty happy. Okay, we have Kelly showing her elbows. That means that her elbow doesn't go straight, so that gives the referees a bit of a warning that you're not going to see a lockout, which we saw on her previous. I think it was her left arm that doesn't quite go to extension.
Left elbow.
Comfortable, and another record.
Very easy. Celebration down there at the back.
You'll often find that athletes that have a poor lockout, it's usually on their dominant arm, and they might have come from a throwing sport. I used to do javelin when I was younger, and I have a bit of a struggle with my right elbow because of basically the adaptation to the throw. Tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, all of those things. It's not. If I knew about it, I probably wouldn't have been a thrower before I picked up the weightlifting bar.
It's part of your journey, part of your story.
Yeah. Here we have Jennifer. She's not quite on screen yet, but she is coming.
Solid first two openers.
Lots of support coming through on the live stream. Make sure you let them know that you're watching, where you're watching from.
And again, very nice.
Just as easy as the first two.
Celebration there for Jennifer. And a lot of these athletes, they would be, an opener would be a comfortable weight. A second one would be, pushing to get closer to a PB, and the last one is normally a PB attempt. Is that something you based your lifting off as well, or?
There's different outcomes, I think. So for a number of my athletes lifting in this Masters one, I said, look, let's just enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even want you to, I don't care if you get close to a PB or not, because there's so many new elements. Most of these Masters athletes, this is their second ever competition. Like,
Right.
some of them did the New Zealand event to qualify for this, and so they've gone from a club comp to an international stage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's so many more aspects that are happening: staging, lighting, cameras, referees, officials, all of this stuff. I said, let's just go really 3 out of 3, so you have a real positive experience from this. The last thing I want is an athlete in an early stage of their career to have a negative experience, because that's when they're like, it's not for me. Whereas we want them back.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect of it. Here's Kelly for her third. She's 2 from 2, and this is for 3 from 3 for records and everything. She's moved it to the back of the platform.
Very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
And a big celebration there for Kelly.
You've got to be careful. Those stairs are pretty close over there. I thought she was about to go off down the stairs. She'll be happy with that. Well, she is happy with that, you can tell. She moved it right to the back of the platform, thinking she might have gone for a run or something, but didn't need it.
Might be something. The usual thing for her is a little bit of a run up in the platforms training, so it's always good to prepare yourself. She definitely didn't need that much more space. So little celebration there, the roll over.
She was waiting for the referees, and then you get the referee's decision last second out of screen.
Jump.
So yeah, we're talking about first event. So I had a lot of athletes here going, right, we'll just do the 3 out of 3, and then I had others that said, I just want to go big and I don't care. There's elements. So depends how far along you are in your athletic career and what outcome you want for it, right? So here we have a first attempt for Leora. I'm going to go to the main platform.
Very nice. First attempt. And it's a record attempt. And she gets it.
She came up pretty quickly, and I almost missed that, so I got to it just in time. Yes. Look at this for a scorecard.
That's very clean. You don't usually see so many greens in one competition.
Right, that's.
They took up some of the coaches and the athletes out back.
There's all the Aussie contingent. Standing around. Give us a wave, Mark. Mr. Cabas there as well, I believe. There you go, team.
Everybody's very in the zone.
He's coming in for a change. What's he going to put on? That's the question. I can't quite get that low. Might be able to get in on the screen there. Oh, there you go, everybody. Oh, look at that for a shot. So that's the change cards for Lorena. It gets entered there, which transitions to here, which transitions to here. It's the workflow.
And for a lot of people, watching weightlifting for the first time, there's a lot that goes on in the background. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of things happening in the back room. So that's your back room there. So this is the change table. So the coaches all standing around. There you go. Making lots of changes. These guys can see themselves. There is a screen out the back. So this is Oceania and World Cup record attempt. They're letting the clock run down. They've got a minute remaining. Here comes Leora. Okay, we'll go back to the main platform. They'll make their way up onto stage. And I'm going to switch to the slow-mo, get it ready. So here she comes. This is a Oceania and Masters World Cup record attempt. Oh, beautiful.
Fairly easy for my side.
How good's the smile?
And a new record. And that's the second person today in this session. Open up in a new record.
Yeah.
Pushing that record still. I've never seen so many people breaking records in one competition.
It's a beautiful position.
Just very tight catch.
When you start smiling at the bottom, you got to be careful that you don't get too excited too early. She's pretty heavy.
Catching in the bottom and then standing up midway through are two separate things.
Yeah.
And a lot of things can happen in between that time.
She's very confident with that lift.
Talking about records and stuff, did you ever count how many records you broke, Richie?
No, I didn't. No.
Too many. Couldn't fit it in your hands, right?
Oh, let's just say I wasn't that pedantic when I was young, and I would just break records. And I can remember my first New Zealand record though. I was playing cricket in the morning, and I had a weightlifting comp at Gillies Ave in the afternoon.
Oh wow!
And I was in batting, and I was like, okay, I've got to be done by midday because I've got to be at this weightlifting comp weigh-in. And I was batting, and I didn't get out. I went in and I was like, I'll just start smashing it. And I scored 156 runs.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I was yelling at the coach. I was like, I got to go. Like, and we were playing St. Kitts, I can remember it. And I think I hit something like 24s and 10 sixes because I was just absolutely slogging it. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm going to retire. I said, I've got to retire because I've got to leave. And then I got caught behind on that exact board that I said I'm going to retire. And then I ran to the weigh-in, just weighed in time, and broke the New Zealand under-16 records.
Wow.
So for weightlifting, it was a good day for me.
It does sound like a good day. Very energetic, young Richie.
Yeah.
I could just imagine you bouncing off the walls and everything.
My lifting suit was a New Zealand lifting suit that went up between my nipples.
old style lifting suit.
And lifting in my school shoes.
Oh wow! I remember those days.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford lifting shoes, so lifting school shoes.
School shoes, yeah. Okay, here we go. Because Leora is back. Sorry. She looked fantastic on her first. Oh, it's
just a bit much today.
Yeah. We've seen a couple of lifts like this where the mind, I think, overrules the body. Just gets it through the middle and it just feels that little bit heavier and the brain goes, I'm not going to put myself under that.
Out of that whole class, only 2 lifts missed. Fairly successful.
That's a great first session. Can't get better than that. Well, you can by 2, but not really. And those last missed lifts are people really putting some weight on the bar. Yeah. So,
and that's where you want to miss your lifts is the last ones because you know for sure that you're pushing your limits.
Yeah. So they'll just tidy up the bar. You'll see them give it a bit of a clean. We have approximately 9.5 minutes until the start of the clean and jerks. I'll take this opportunity to thank David. David, you'll join me for the clean jerks, I'm sure.
Yep, for sure.
Brilliant, thank you. And I'm also going to thank the supporters of this event, Auckland Unlimited, which is the events arm of the Auckland Council, for supporting this. Big drive towards Masters tourism. We had so many of the Masters commenting yesterday on getting out and round and seeing Auckland, over to Rangitoto on the ferries.
Oh, nice.
Up the Sky Tower. We've had a fair few go through the All Blacks experience in the Weta workshop as well. So certainly using this opportunity to get out and see Auckland, which is fantastic. Major Events New Zealand, which is even better because we do have people talking to the Canadian couple yesterday. They're off to Hobbiton today.
Oh, wow.
And then a couple from Tunisia travelling the South Island. So that's the thing that we want, to create tourism opportunities for New Zealand and help post-COVID recovery of the tourism sector as well. So it's great to see. Lion Foundation, North and South Trust were helping us with the venue. Aotearoa Gaming Trust here, New Zealand for the weights and barbells. Sheik and Raise Lower. Matt has been a massive supporter of our sport in recent years. SBD supporting National, Sheik supporting this event, weightlifting belts. The Packaging Forum being Tidy Kiwi. We got reusable cups for the coffee. So once you get one of those, you can just keep filling it up, not throwing it in the bin. Pure Athletic for all of our shirts, which will go a long way because all athletes will continue to wear them. And Torpedo 7 for our reusable drink bottles. I'm going to play us out into the holding screen for the next 7 minutes, and we will be back to you shortly. In the meantime, enjoy the beautiful scenery of Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, Aotearoa, New Zealand. welcome back. That was our snatch session of session 15. That was a big session, and they did so well. Can't get much better than that. We're getting photos from everywhere. David, photo opportunity. So the platform is set. We're just in the final seconds before the start of the clean and jerks.
It's been a very successful snatch session for the women's here. Hopefully the clean jerks will go the same way.
I think the reason why we saw such success in the snatch is that they were technically very proficient, right? They were moving all very well. So here's Marcia Black, first attempt, 56 kilos. Let's see if we can get this. I want to get this.
Very easy opener there for Marcia.
Yeah. I'm going to try my best on the next lift to get a better slow-mo. I didn't get it so well on that one. We'll go to the background where Marcia is going to be sitting down, because I can zoom out a little bit on my slow-mo. I'll go like this. That's better. And I'm going to get how Marcia is doing this with pole, helping her.
It's one thing to be impressed, but another to be impressed with a adaptive athlete.
Yes, yeah.
Because we don't technically have a what's the other the powerlifting has?
Like a program specifically, like in a there's no
Commonwealth Games now the powerlifting.
Yes, so powerlifting has the bench press, the powerlifting, para powerlifting.
Yes.
I know there's an adaptive weightlifting program being developed.
Okay.
The Canadian Federation has a lot of adaptive athletes, and they have developed a power program. They did actually approach us about hosting it here. We wanted to bring it here, but we were told by higher powers not to be.
That would have been fun.
It would have been. I was a bit
Rose out for her first clean jerk. Very strong and explosive there.
Really good dip drive, throws those elbows in nice and solid. Big recovery. Good bar slam down. We've got a lot of polystyrene under these blocks, under the main platform, because we are on the third story. There's a car park underneath us, but we don't want this reverb going through the hotel. Which is quite interesting, like you just walk out there and you wouldn't even know that this is happening in here.
No.
It's got great soundproofing. This bit of changes happening out the back. You'll see all of these cards getting written. Cheryl Tan doing the tabulating out the back. So all of that goes on here, which goes into this. For a zoom. Oh, sorry everybody. Trying to get close. So that's what we're looking at back there. Now I wanted to get a wider slow-mo of this one so everyone can see what's going on. And
very nice there from
beautiful. So What you'll see here is a wide view slow-mo of Marcia, but you'll see just in that bottom right-hand corner, she proceeds to get the lift and then recovers, and then you'll see Pole make her wait until she gets the down signal of the green, and then Pole puts her hand up and says, put it down, and that's how they're working as a team, and that is fantastic. And then Pole scoots off back round to the front super quick. So they're doing a wonderful job.
What is her condition, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know. So this is all very new for me, but I'm thinking it's an audible feedback. That's why Pole's giving her that visual down.
Because I'm sure a lot of people will be at home wondering.
Marcia, if you do come back and you watch this, you'll be able to read this, no doubt. Pole's making some changes. So Cheryl is inputting it, saying, write it down, please. And it gets input into the system. So that's what's happening out the back. There's the men's session happening in the far side over there. So we've got 20 warm-up platforms happening. It's a lot of action happening out the back. Everybody's watching the screens. There's a lot of Weightlifting New Zealand kit there. A lot of arms crossed and a lot of counting happening.
Everybody in the zone.
Everybody. Give us a wave, Simon. Cameron.
Smile will do.
There we go. And these two. This has got to be the biggest New Zealand team on record. Anyway, we're going to go back to the main because Rose is ready to go.
Second attempt at 64 kilos.
Oh, we've got... Beautiful.
Good clap there for herself.
Yeah.
That's
You know you're having a good day when you clap for yourself, right? Great drive, leg drive. Super strong. So
And unintentionally, the uniform and the shoes kind of suits the blue plates and everything on that platform at the moment.
yeah. So good. We've just had someone on Anya helping us out on the live stream. Thank you, Anya. Marcia is hard of hearing.
Oh, okay.
So that's why Pole is coming around the front and just giving that visual feedback response to help her
Right.
return.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Anya. Appreciate that.
'Cause you don't normally see these kind of things. And the only other person I do recall is the Australian blind lifter.
Yes.
Malik?
That
Is that Malik? Is that his name?
oh, I've had a mind blank. I competed against him. He's a lovely guy. At Glasgow.
Right.
And
he was partially blind, or
it was a deteriorating condition, and to the point where he had to be guided to the barbell. Competed at the Com Games. Like
that's crazy.
that was I remember Glasgow, and unfortunately he failed to get a snatch. But you know how it is when you go out to major events. Glasgow was sold out crowd, and we came out, and even I came out. And I was like, wow, this is overwhelming. My heart rate was through the roof. All of these things, and I was just thinking from a position where you've got you're visually impaired. You feed off all of the other senses, and when you come into it was an opera theatre, so the sound coming down onto the stage was very focused because of the nature of the building, so it was overwhelmingly loud on the platform when you walked out. And I was just thinking how that must have been so challenging for him, because that would have been such a heightened response for his hearing. Like, we think we rely on so many senses, but when you have a heightened response to one sense, when you get that more cheer, you just have to compose yourself ever so much more. And I was like, what? Because I remember taking an extra 5 seconds in Glasgow just to compose myself.
To be sure, yeah.
So here is Marcia for her third.
And a record attempt.
I'm going to take that shot tighter. Unfortunately not to be.
I think I've seen a clip on the belt. Slow down the bar path.
Let's see if we can see that on the slow-mo. Didn't quite get it. I'm going to show you my iPhone really quickly because I didn't quite get close enough, but I can slow it down. So she comes up. Did you reckon it clipped the belt on the way through? Yes, it does. Good observation, David. So you'll see Marcia just clips the belt as she comes through, and that would have completely thrown her rhythm on it. So we'll go out of that. So we have Flo Alisana, first attempt. Thanks, Diego.
A little ritual there. Pulling up on the knee sleeves, rolling the bar. Very strong.
Oh, so good.
Very nice. Very solid first attempt there for Flo. 67 kilos. You can see in the beginning there was a little bit of a, knee sleeve ritual and then the bar rolling. Did you have any rituals that you always kind of did yourself?
I do. It was prior to touching the bar though, Meister. So we'll just watch this jerk. She's really powerful in this.
Very solid.
So in terms of rituals approaching the bar, for clean and jerk, I walk behind the platform. Before I step onto the platform, I internally say, legs, elbows back, hips and upright.
It's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words. But I used to say it in training because legs, elbows and back, hips and upright. So it's about the first lead off the ground and then thinking about my receiving position, hips in and upright. Hips and elbows, hips and upright. And it got to a habit of doing it so much in training that I incorporated
just into
the competition platform. Here's Annabelle. Beautiful. She's doing well. Good work, Bells. So, yeah, legs, elbows back, hips and upright is what I say off the platform. Then I would step on the platform. I do a double foot right tap, double right foot tap on the platform. Then I step up to the bar, and then I say hips, elbows, and then I lift. And I do that every lift.
It's a lot of words, Richie. You might as well write a book while you're up there.
Good work, Bells. Look at the smile come through as she gets it down. She's on the board. Gives herself a round of applause.
Off the platform.
Yeah. What's happening out back? We've got a few people sitting around. But I just got into the habit of that because it stopped me bringing in other words into my head. So if you're silent in your head, sometimes words can creep in, like, oh, this is a big weight, or oh, this is like I just, to silence myself, I have to make a consistency with words in my head, consistency and process. So I remember my last lift in Glasgow when I needed it for the gold, and I sat out the back, and because I was coaching myself at that point, but I had another coaching team looking after me. And at that point, everybody wants to give you some words of advice, right? Yeah. And I just sat there and I said, just nobody. Yeah. and I just said to myself, execute. That's all I said, execute. Don't change.
Exactly the same thing too. Let everybody shut up.
Yeah. You've practiced it so many times. I don't need any input right now. I actually just need to do what I've practiced over and over.
It's just like what they say, you know, sometimes outside energy disturbs your own energy. So
Yeah. Yeah, when you know in yourself, I'm good, I just got to do it. I don't need magic cues saying big pull, shrug or anything like that. It's just let me do what I do.
Here's Rose coming up for her third and final attempt, 70 kilos. I think this will be a PB attempt. So big lift for Rosie.
This is a big step as well because you get the big red 25. So let's see how Rose goes. Oh, good work.
Nice fight.
Oh, she tried to sneak that elbow in. She knew it. Yeah. I think she gave it to the referees though.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can sell it.
You can sell it.
Sell it to the referees. Make them give you the white lights.
We'll see it here. So she dips, drives to overhead, but she shakes her head. She knew it right there, and then she pressed it. Right there, she's like, no, I didn't get it. It makes the referee's job really easy. So, but valiant effort. Yeah, great lift. So there's not much happening on the comp platform at the moment. I don't know what's happening at the back room. Let's have a quick gander. Lots of people looking at the scoreboard. Said we've got a massive New Zealand team. It's great though. Like that's one thing that I wanted from this is that everybody gets the opportunity to pull on the fern. It's the inspiration that brings.
And it's a good way it's a cool way to look at it. Like it's never too late. You know, if you always wanted to represent New Zealand, your home country, and you're so prideful of your own nation, you know, things like this will come around. Like the weightlifting. And I'm sure there are more sports out there that you can do this kind of thing with, you know.
Yeah, well, some of the Masters athletes signed up because we didn't have an attached qualification standard to this for the New Zealand team. You just have had to competed before, so it was a massive participation drive to get Masters athletes. Like all of the Masters community and the board of Weightlifting New Zealand, what should we attach for qualification? I said nothing, just nothing. As long as they can compete, I want them in this event because I want their kids, I want their grandkids, I want their family members to see them representing New Zealand because that's important. So that's why we're here, and that's why we've got this massive New Zealand team doing so well.
Flo coming out for her second attempt is 73 kilos. Little ritual there.
Oh, really powerful.
Power there. Very nice.
Oh, she's working hard. That's a good lift. Nice and patient on the recovery. Good line in her dip and drive. Good pressure, and she just takes her time on that recovery. Great to have that interaction from the live stream. Please let us know where you're watching from, who you're supporting. What would be even better is every time one of your athletes came out, you have to write something. Should I make that a rule? I think I should make that a rule. Oh, I just flicked to the scoreboard, but Annabelle is ready to go. This is 3 from 3 for Annabelle. Lots of cues. Lots of cues being thrown by Mr. McTaggart. He quickly glances over at us. Oh, but I think it was a bit slow on Annabelle's elbows.
Solid drive.
Just there, just a little unstable and presses out. The two referees on this left-hand side saw that, picked that up.
You know, a bar slam with a bit of cheering and clapping from herself would have probably sold that to the referees.
I reckon too, yeah. So, what's happening out back? Because there's not a lot of action. Mr. McTaggart's still walking around. We've got a few people lined up. So Bells does have a 2-minute clock on her, so she does get the opportunity to rectify it. There you go.
Wave there from Flo.
Hi team. Cam's giving some coaching technique.
Cam knows the camera's on and that's why he's hogging it.
Yeah. Shrugging his shoulders up. Bit of a tricep tense there, Cam. There's not much action happening in the warm-up because I think everybody's done. Let's have a look at the scoreboard, shall we?
I think both of the Australian hasn't come out yet.
Oh, we've got 3 still to go. Kelly, Leora and Jennifer are yet to even enter the competition. Bar is still on Bells. Is Cam moving Bells up? No, here comes Bells. She doesn't muck around once she gets on the platform.
Yep, all business.
Oh, rocket. Yes, good work, Bells. Bar slams it.
And a solid third attempt there.
Coaching cues galore from McTaggart. Use the legs, and she does. She puts them to great effect. Sets it up. Big setup. She just put so much. She put so much more energy into this than the previous.
Mm-hmm.
I love the bar slam. She was certainly going. You're not gonna. Oomph. Playing basketball with 73 kilos. Let's go back to that main stage. That's not
on bar slams. Have you ever broken a platform with slamming a bar on it?
I didn't break it by slamming a bar on it, but at my first Oceania Junior Championships, which was in Queensland, they had the stage on. We were in a historic barn, and the stage was on a historic barn, and on my second clean and jerk, which was 110 kilos, I can remember it because it was a New Zealand under-18 record at the time. I dropped it, and as I dropped it, I felt the whole stage go ka-goomph. And I was like, that didn't feel good. And I walked off stage, and they stopped the comp for an hour because it had broken a main support under the stage. Oh, wow. And they moved the comp platform to the ground in front of it. And then I stupidly didn't re-warm up and tried 115 completely cold.
Wow.
Yeah. But yes, we smashed this stage. It was at a theme park, I think. In Queensland somewhere. It was on the Sunshine Coast. Maybe someone watching is of those years. It would have been, 1999, I think.
Very easy. And a big wave of celebration there for Flo.
So,
very good drive and punch.
Real determined, working super hard. How's our audio through the live stream? Is it good? Max, hi Max, how you going? That's a name from the... Max, you might have been competing at that event on the Sunshine Coast. You're of my era.
Here comes our first Australian for this session.
Great to
Jennifer?
see some of the names from weightlifting popping up on the live stream. Max competed at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Here is Jennifer. First attempt 76. Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Catches it, places it nicely. It's very polite of her. It's a show of power and then a show of precision. Big drive. She gets so much elevation.
You know, the representation of masters weightlifting is, you know, the technical side of it's not very great, but I'm not sure. After watching this session, I'm kind of convinced that that's probably a myth.
I agree. Like, to be honest, masters weightlifting used to be like, ooh, and I remember used to go around to the referees and go, just be lenient. Like, even in the masters rule book, it used to say, show your discretion as referees, because they knew that it's not the grade. But we're watching now some of the best technical lifting that I've seen in a long time. It's fantastic.
For sure.
Oh, Max first met me in Niue, yep. That was an interesting trip, Niue. Weightlifting was very different back in those days. It was more about the parties afterwards. Yeah, New Zealand team was up to lots of trouble. Okay, we're going to get back to this main platform because Jennifer doesn't waste any time.
Comes out and powers the second attempt.
Oh, so good.
Another solid jerk.
It'd be interesting to know what she's put over her head off like a jerk block or a rack. Because I feel like she's well within her capabilities of...
That first attempt, she came out and did a full clean. Came out and did a power on the second. Fairly easy, and that jerk.
Yeah, looks like there's another 30 or 40 kilos to go over the head there. She just gets that oscillation timing so good. Just uses the energy of the barbell, whips it, creates momentum, drives the structure underneath. Ooh, there's a good bounce back. Almost got it. She's chuffed. Let's have a look out the back, shall we? There is Kelly lining up, but there she is. She'll be watching the live stream. Give us a wave. Come on. Yeah, we can see you. She'll see herself on the screen out back shortly.
Kelly coming up for her first. And again.
So Kelly's just
on a record attempt.
Showing her elbows. Kelly was out the back when at the break, and she said, doing it for the people that don't have good elbows.
Welcome back to the clean and jerk portion of this session. Our first athlete, we have Ken.
Very nice clean. Another solid jerk.
The great thing about having bad elbows is that when you don't lock it out, they don't lock out anyway. So you can't, there's no option for you to press it out because there is no option to press it out, right?
You can't just lock it up to your...
It just goes to end range.
Yeah, that's your end range.
So Kelly is having a great day so far. Let's go to the back room and we'll go to Jumpman. I hope you guys are enjoying this slow motion. There we go. There we go. They've found the camera, finally. They're having a good time. That's great to see. Yeah. And now they're saying, go away, please. Okay, we will. I'll go away from you. There you go.
No, I reckon zoom in.
they think we've gone, I can go like this, and I can go back. There you go. It's great to see the camaraderie out the back as well, yeah. It's, so that's your scoreboard. We're getting down towards the final lifts. We've still got one to enter the comp. Okay. She's not mucking around this time. She's ready. This is a big lift, 81 kilos, third attempt.
Oh, another power.
Come on. Legs.
Yes.
Wow.
What a great competition. And Jennifer, you've done marvellously well. Congratulations. Can't get better than that.
Solid round of applause there for herself.
Yeah.
Should be proud. Should be proud.
Nothing better than a chalk clap for yourself, right? Kind of create the mist to walk through.
That's what I reckon. Get enough chalk that when you're done, you don't create that mist and then walk through like you're the baddest.
Yeah.
I know it's fairly easy, Rich. You know, what do you think was holding her back? Because you come out and you power, and then the jerks are so sharp.
I don't know. Maybe someone in the live stream can help us. But how long has she been lifting for? Because it just seems like she's so well within her capabilities that maybe she's new to the sport. I don't know. And she's actually just progressively meeting her potential. So it might be. It might also be that she's done more at a local event and this is the first international. I don't know, but maybe you guys in the YouTube comment section can let us know a little bit of her history as an athlete because she's very talented. Okay, here we have Kelly. It sounds like Max knows a little bit about her, so Max, maybe you can give us an update. Here's Kelly, second attempt. This is a record attempt.
Very nice clean there. Caught the pinky just a little bit. Solid drive, solid jerk.
Good work, Kelly.
Nice.
That's a good lift. So, as you see, Kelly comes out and points to her elbows each time. So this is her end range, and she doesn't shift off it. So that's still a good lift. In slow-mo, it makes it look a little bit unstable.
Yeah, I think that in the clean she kind of caught her pinky just under the bar, and before she reset it, might have changed something a little bit in her set position, but fairly good lift.
Sometimes, yeah, when you lose your hand, sometimes it takes a fair bit of energy to try and reset it, and that can knock that energy out of the jerk, right? Max has said Jen was 5 years on and off, so she is reasonably new to the sport, really, 5 years. Max coached her for a few. You can claim some of that technique then, Max. Well done.
Very good.
That's your scoreboard. We're just waiting on Leora Yates to come into the comp, and we've still got Kelly has a final, so we've got a 2-minute clock on Kelly. There she is with Claire Nahi there. There, give us a wave. Brilliant. Good work, team. It's great to see. That's a really relaxed attitude. I remember when I was competing and cameras are around, the last thing I wanted to do is wave to cameras. But what's happening on the scoreboard? There's a few. I see Mark Mansour. He's one of the OGs of when I was young as well. Cheryl making some changes, putting them into the scoreboard. Sorry guys, my camera control's all over the place. There we go.
Kelly coming out on 88.
Okay, so Kelly's back. So let's go back to the main platform then.
And if she gets this, that'll be 6 for 6 and every lift was a record.
Every record in the books, right? She's lost her hands again. Does a big reset. She's worked hard for it. Referees say good lift.
That big reset was probably a big influence from catching her pinky in the last one.
Yeah, they worked hard for it.
Very good lift.
Did I hear the referees say something? I'm going to have to check the scoreboard because I think it might have been. Did it get overruled? Kelly. No? Yes, it did. So, for those that are wondering, so if you look at the scoreboard, Kelly's last lift just got overruled by the referees, which they saw a little bit of more of a press in those elbows that time, fortunately. But we are down to the final athlete, Leora Yates from Australia. She was an absolute technician in the snatch, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing how she goes in the clean jerk. Oh, she started heavy. She's working hard. Oh, easy jerk.
Very easy. And that's what you normally see with a lot of these lifters worldwide, is that they're really strong on one lift, one part of the lift.
Quite interested in what her feet do in this pull. So as she pulls, she twists the feet into a shift in the middle of the pull. Works really hard. And then drives out. YouTube. Weightlifting New Zealand YouTube. Weightlifting New Zealand. Okay. YouTube. Sorry, just telling someone where to find the live stream. Our guests from Saudi Arabia. It's great to see so many countries came so far down. Are we going to sit? Yeah, we do see the jerk.
Nice dip, solid drive, split and catch. Just so good. Like you said before, it's such a technician, you know. And this is probably a big part of why, you know, the eyes and the stories of masters weightlifting is going to change.
Yeah, it's so different to what it was 5 years ago.
Yes, very.
Yeah, it's rough as guts. Now it's like technical proficiency. I would put that down to actually the skill of coaching now that's more available wider. Used to be very hard to find good coaching because it was such a niche sport. And then you had this broader CrossFit influence, and then with that came courses and upskilling opportunities for coaches, and then those coaches pass on their knowledge, and the next group has more knowledge to learn from, and it just becomes like a domino effect, right? Like it's a constant upskilling. And we didn't really have that in the Oceania region for many years. We had a select few that had the knowledge.
Very hard to get to.
Yeah, and were hard to access. And now, like even just looking at these, you got two ex-athletes here coaching an athlete that's doing exceptional. So there's this group of athletes that have come in with their technical proficiency as being athletes and then passing that knowledge on back to the next athletes. So Leora is lining up 94 kilos. This is a big lift. And come back to the main platform.
It was a big fight for her first clean.
Yeah, I think this is going to be about standing up.
And we'll definitely find out if it was the nerves or...
Yeah.
Anything else?
I do want to go a little bit lower so I can see her feet on this slow-mo.
Very nice.
Oh, she's got through, yeah. Oh no, she didn't quite take it to arm's length. She knew it too, right? Yeah.
Like, you know what I was saying before, just recover, give it a big celebration, you know. Maybe the judges will still be lenient.
Yeah, at least make the judges feel a little bit guilty, right? I do just want to go back to her first pull again, because I am quite interested in what her feet do. So just watch her feet as she comes off the floor. Sets a big set position, and then there's just right there.
Sort of a corkscrew.
Quite an interesting. She caught that second bounce really well. You guys are just going to see my iPhone for a second because I'm going to move forward to the jerk.
Solid dip, a little bit of a drop on the elbow.
Maybe just laying out the back a little bit with the torso and the head, so you can see her correct it by driving the shoulders through a little bit better. She knew it at that point that she'd been pressed it. So she has another attempt.
And that was fairly good in her first clean jerk. The jerk was very dominant. Very dominant. Hopefully for this last one she can come out and do the same thing again.
So this was the final clean and jerk of the session. So, we'll go to the scoreboard so everyone can have a quick look. It's a pretty good scorecard.
It's a lot of green, that's what you want to see.
She's ready to go. Yep. This last lift.
This will be a very big lift for her. Record attempt. Very nice.
See if she can make that correction. Unfortunately, she lost her foot, and that's not to be. And that is the end. Valiant effort. She does still go away. She did get her first. So let's go have a look at that slow-mo.
Definitely, good to put herself on the board.
Yeah, she looked at that back foot. Let's have a look.
Just a slip.
Just a slight slip. Quite high up on her toe, and it just took off. And fortunately not to be, but that is sometimes weightlifting. This is our scoreboard, so you can have a little look on that. While I'm here, I'm going to thank David Leety for joining me in commentary. You're welcome back anytime.
I mean, looking at this scorecard, 94 kilos for any female at any age, that's a big number.
It's big weight.
To come and do it as a master.
Yeah. This is why you got to look after your body while you're young, David.
I'm not sure if I can pull it off like these guys, but very well done for me.
But again, thank you, David, for joining me. I'll take this opportunity quickly to thank our sponsors for the event, Auckland Unlimited, the events arm of the Auckland Council, for helping us bring our Masters athletes to Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, New Zealand. Major Events New Zealand, because we want these guys to travel the country. Tourism New Zealand, Sport New Zealand, thank you for your assistance. Lion Foundation, North and South Trust for helping us with the facility hire. Aotearoa Gaming Trust, TAB New Zealand for the weights and barbells, and helping us with this massive setup. The Packaging Forum and Ben Tairi Kiwi, because we want to reduce our footprint on the environment. Every sponsor for this event was given 5 trees, and they will plant those. Nice. So it will have an ongoing impact on our environment. Pure Athletic for our wonderful shirts and equipment, and Torpedo 7 for pulling in last second and giving us a few things to give away. that is your session. We will be back live on Facebook with the podium, so click on our Weightlifting New Zealand Facebook. In the meantime, I'm going to play you out with the beautiful scenery of Tamaki Makaurau, Aotearoa, New Zealand, and we will be back for the final sessions of the day at 3 p.m. It's Richie Patterson and David Leedy signing out.